Well, welcome to another episode of Ask the Scientist. My name is Dr. Jeff Galini, and this show is about busting myths and bringing you the truth. Anyway, several people since the introduction of Karbolyn have asked, can Karbolyn be used to carb up before a bodybuilding contest, physique, fitness, and what's the best way to use it? So first of all, I'm going to talk about how to do that. So always try this before. Anytime that you're a bodybuilder, you should always try all of your carb loading and your carb depletion long before the first time you ever step on stage. So that's my first recommendation. If you haven't used Karbolyn, you should give it a try. See how does it affect your body? How does it help you with your pumps and your workout? Now, Karbolyn comes in essentially two types. You've got neutral and you've got the flavored Karbolyn. The flavored Karbolyn is great for your workouts, your recovery, your during the day. But when you're getting into carb loading for your contest, you want to use the neutral because the neutral doesn't contain any sweeteners, any flavors, citric acid that could bloat you, and of course it's sodium free. So very important. Now again, not knowing how much water you drink or what all you do, for the most part, people will complex carb load several days beforehand. When you get to the day of is when you start putting back those simple carbohydrates. So what I would recommend is the night before taking about 50 grams of Karbolyn neutral in whatever your water source would be for that evening. Again, not knowing how much water that you would drink. And then I would take the next dose of Karbolyn literally about 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes before I went backstage and I started to pump up. Remember, Karbolyn is absorbed as quickly as a sugar, so within about 5 minutes, those glucose levels are spiked, so you should start to see your veins popping out. So again, mix it in what water you would normally sip on back there, 25-50 grams. It really doesn't matter at that point. It depends on how much you can get into your water, and I would just kind of sip on that as I was pumping up. I'd get a little bit in beforehand and then try to get that finished before I went on the stage. And what you should find, or what you will find, in our clinical studies, Karbolyn lasted for about 75 minutes. So you should have that glucose out on stage during your entire time, keeping you pumped and full. And I think that's the difference between, drinking sugar, water, honey, dried fruits and things like this that are going to be burned up very quickly. The last thing you want to do is be out on stage and just flatten out and run out of gas. Anyhow, that's my recommendations for how to use Karbolyn. If you want to try it, send me an email. I'll send you out some Karbolyn. Let me know if you don't want the flavored, if you'd like to try the neutral, and I'd have to get you some samples put together on that. Other than that, if you got any questions, also send me an email. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those areas, and like my page. Take care. We'll see you next time.